Yo, what's good? What's going on, beautiful people? I am the Grandmaster, but you can call me D-Ray, your coach of the San Diego Spirits and your humble commissioner of the BBR Battle Royale. We're in Season 8, baby. Let's go! I'm so excited. Big shout out to everyone in the community. Without you guys, this would not be possible. I am your humble commissioner. Season 8, main division. This is crazy. Pull up a chair, get your popcorn ready. It is going to be one heck of a ride. I am so excited. So you don't know what it is. It's a new draft league, baby. We're going to talk about what we drafted, what our thought process was for the draft. If you're excited for it, do me the massive favor and rage fist that thumbs up button. And if you're new, por favor, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications, hit that bell button so you get notified every single time we post a new video. The small amount of time it takes for you to hit the like and sub button really truly does help me out a lot. Check it for subbed. Check it for subbed. Big shout out to my front office, the new homies. Thank you guys. Their opinions and thought process were heavily listened to, and I think we came up with a good team. Big shout out to Quinn. Big shout out to Sven, Mario B, and Hayes, who've been the backbone of this season of the BBR. And moving forward, man, I'm happy to have them. Thank you guys. Thanks for the boys for the support. And guess what, y'all? Personally, I am super excited for this, but we are the first major Wi-Fi draft league on YouTube to completely ban Terrastilization. That's right. Generation 9's mechanic is gone for Season 8 of the BBR Battle Royale. It's going to be non-stop action with old school Wi-Fi draft league battling. It's going to be a good time. Your San Diego Spirits are towards the bottom of the end. For those who don't know what the draft league is essentially fantasy sports mixed in with Pokemon, right? So fantasy football, same concept. Everyone has a draft pick within the draft. We all take turns to pick at the end of the draft. We all have a team, and then we have 8 weeks plus playoffs. That is the goal, to make playoffs. The BBR, in my humble opinion, is one of the elite places to play in Wi-Fi. The competition here is absolutely bananas. Look at the screen, man. These are all the coaches participating in the season. This is crazy. Look at all the talent. This is gonna be so hard, but I'm so excited for it. It's gonna be so much fun. So without further ado, our first pick was a gholdengo. Gholdengo was gonna be my number one for the entirety of the draft. This is my number one want. Gholdengo is fantastic. I recently participated in the BPL, the best Pokemon draft league, on Showdown, and ended up in finals. Unfortunately, we came up a little bit short, but Gholdengo was our number one pick in that draft, and it carried me honestly throughout the entire season, and I really wanted to try it on Wi-Fi. I can't remember if I had it in the past, but I wanted to give it a good shot. Gholdengo is a fantastic steel type. Ghost typing has an incredible ability in good as gold, so basically can't be hit by status moves. It's a great hazard remove blocker, which is blocking spin, blocking mortal spin, blocking defog, which is great. Fantastic steel type and ghost type. Aegislash of the new generation. Hits like an absolute truck. I think it's base 133 special attack, so it's a good breaker. It's a good support for the team, has reliable recovery and recover. Really all it needs is make it rain and shadow ball, so Gholdengo is going to be a really nice start to this team. We paired it up with Samurott. Samurott is busted. Ceaseless Edge boosted by the sharpness ability, letting you get free spikes every time you click it. Fantastic. Good pairing with Gholdengo. It covers the fire weakness, it covers the ghost weakness, and then vice versa. So these two pair off almost perfectly. They get a little bit mashed up in the speed tiers, but nonetheless, being able to set up spikes and have a Gholdengo keep the opponent from getting rid of those spikes is super good. I felt like at the beginning of the draft, these two being the number one priority and being able to get them and having the guys be on the same page, magnifique. Samurott we paired up with Gliscor. Gliscor is a really good ground and flying type Pokemon, has a great ability in toxic heal, which are holding a toxic orb to self-inflict the toxic to get that healing potential each and every turn. I believe is 1/16th or could be 1/8 of your health, one of the two. It heals itself every time while it's poisoned, which is great. Also has the basically this thing did get nerfed. It lost defog, it lost roost, but nonetheless it's still a fantastic mon this generation. Gets great utility and knockoff. Obviously stab earthquake. It gets access to acrobatics if we want to run that. Using facade with the toxic heal ability is really cool. It's awesome. Pivot momentum with U-turn. So this can be a really good support with the team. It's a good ground immunity and it's a good fighting resist. That doesn't have to be Gholdengo, which is an immunity, but we don't want Gholdengo coming off fighting types all the time because knockoff is a thing. So having a Pokemon to come in on the weaknesses for Gholdengo and also for the Samurott is really cool. So we decided to go for Infernape on the 4th round. Infernape is really fast at base 108. Not incredibly fast, but faster than what we've got. It has great potential to be a physical attacker and a special attacker. It gets set up in both Nasty Plot and Swords Dance, which is really cool. Good priority in Mach Punch, boosted by Iron Fist ability, very nice. So being able to be very moldable to the matchup is very valuable in my personal opinion, and it's able to help us get rid of normal types, which Gholdengo doesn't really want to deal with Ghost Spam, which is really cool. And if there's a grass type that wants to switch on Gliscor's Earthquakes or the Aqua Cutters coming from Samurott, then Infernape can handle that as well. So Infernape filling in that role is really cool. It does get the niche ability to set up Stealth Rock, which is nice. You know, it's a nice little trade-off, because having Stealth Rock on Gliscor, which I didn't mention, also got Spikes and Toxic Spikes this gen, which is very valuable for it. Having our second rocker in the team, and now we have 2 Spikers, great for this hazard setting core, which is what we were going for in the very beginning. We're going to pair this off with Tentacruel, being able to get Rapid Spin support to help remove hazards on our side. If our whole plan was to get up hazards for this team, I don't want to have to defog them away. I'd rather be able to remove my opponent's hazards that they set up. So we have Tentacruel, great spinner, good speed stat, good water and poison typing, has access to Toxic Spikes, which is really nice. They did nerf it, it did lose Scald, but it did gain Flip Turn, which is like, you know, a give and take. I think that Scald is a little bit better than getting Flip Turn, but nonetheless, it's a really nice pivot, which is great. Also gets knockoff to remove heavy duty boosts that my opponent wants to run, just by seeing Samurott and the rest of the hazard staggers are on our team. So I think that Tentacruel has a really good synergistic role to fit on this team. So we decided to bring in Ribombee next. Ribombee is a really good fairy type, has access to Sticky Web. Sticky Web was our #1 priority here, to being able to have that more hazard pressure, and our speed stat. This thing is base 124 speed, and it's a fairy type with spammable Moonblast, which is really nice. If the rest of the team wants to run a little bit less speed, I have access to that Sticky Web to get that -1 speed every single time, which is great. This thing has access to Quiver Dance, which is a cool setup sweeping opportunity. Psychic for some coverage. Bug Buzz is really cool. But Ribombee is here to outspeed stuff and pick stuff off, or set up Sticky Web. Very good fairy type, not very defensive, more of a revenge sweeper, I guess you could say, plus hazard support with that Sticky Web. Next up we have is Electros. Electros is going to be one of our ground immunities, and allows us to really muscle through water types. Electros is one of those mons that really is reliable in running Assault Vest. Great coverage options, physical and special. Gets access to great stabs in electric, as well as getting Thunderfang this gen. Go Electros, finally, about time. Access to Giga Drain, which is really cool. Pivot momentum in both Volt Switch and U-Turn, which is an electric type that's able to still pivot around on ground types that want to switch in, which is actually kind of valuable for the Electros. So it's able to help us with bulky water types, with, as of right now, we kind of struggle with. So Electros being here is great. Gives us another opportunity to get rid of ground types, or work with ground types outside of the Gliscor, which is really nice. Excadrill did get drafted by Panther, spoiler. So we can't bring it in on that, but Gliscor can handle Excadrill just fine. This is a very good glue piece to be able to get some pivot momentum to get the big guys into the matchup. And we wanted to also get some big breaking potential. I really wanted to try Porygon Z. This is the 3rd Pokemon that I really wanted to take in the draft. And through round 7 rounds, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get Porygon, but at the beginning of round 8, I was like, wait, no one has picked it. So I decided to swoop it up, which is really cool. Porygon Z is very strong on the special side. I believe it's base 135 special attack, plus the ability Adaptability, being able to get the 2x boost. It doubles this power when using normal type moves. It doesn't have any super effective coverage using normal type moves, but nonetheless, Tri-attacks hit like super hard. Hyper Beams, if I want to run that, hits super duper hard, and it gets great coverage. Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball is really all it needs, and it has access to Nasty Plot to set up to break even more, and also agility for some sweeping potential. Porygon Z is a massive threat. This is probably my third Pokemon I'm third most excited for, if not, I would say most excited for. I've always really wanted to use Porygon in a draft league, so I'm very excited to have it in BBR. Next up we took is Ogerpon Cornerstone. This is going to be our next breaker, our physical breaker. This is the 4th Ogerpon that was taken, but this is the one that I wanted from the beginning. This is the rock one, so it has access to Ivy Cudgel, stab 100 base rock move that has a high crit chance ratio. as great coverage. Knockoff again to remove those heavy duty boots. Play rough for Pokemon that want to come into like a dragon type, the one that comes in on the grass type moves. Otherwise I can bonk it with the Ivy Cudgel. Access to Stomping Tantrum, which is really cool. Pivot, Momentum, and U-turn, and also has spikes. Its ability is also really nice. It does get sturdy, which means I get an automatic Focus Sash, which is really cool. If I can maintain the hazards off our side with the Tentacruel, I think this will be a really spicy opportunity to come in and keep a potential setup sweeper from knocking us out of a game. Having that built-in Focus Sash in the sturdy could be pretty clutch in some matchups. Gets set up in Swords Dance plus Trail Blades to really sweep through teams. Ogerpon I think has a lot of potential, and this is one of those mons that I'm like, wow, I'm like, for it to last to round 9 I think is pretty clutch to kind of pull through. And then from here we picked up our last Pokemon is Morpeko. Morpeko was fantastic value. I think I picked it up at 3 or 4 points, something around those lines. I can't remember off the top of my head, but very, very undervalued in my opinion. Base 97 speed and having access to the Aura Wheel, depending on its ability, it could be a dark type or an electric type move, but it gets an automatic +1 speed boost, so this actually could snowball some teams, which is super funny. And they give it access to Knockoff in Gen 9, which is nice dark stab to have to just remove an item as opponent decides to or tries to switch in. And having access to Parting Shot as a pivot move to drop down the attacks of the opponent to be able to have another mon come in and set up or just sponge a hit a little bit better, I think brings a lot of value to Morpeko on that 10th slot. Being able to have a physical attacker with very strong stabs, I think is really cool. So I think Morpeko may be able to surprise some people this season, and I'm super excited to end up on the team. Ironically enough, it does have access to Rapid Spin, so this is our second form of removal outside of Tentacruel, so it could be a way for us to, you know, dedicate this thing to remove hazards, which is really funny. I think Morpeko could pop off this season with the support of the boys. I think that's possible. But this is the team, y'all. Let me know what you guys think about the team in the comment section below. What is your favorite mon? Who's going to be the kill leader? I think my favorite pick here, I think it's gonna be Porygon and Samurott. Gholdengo's on there, but I'm really excited about Porygon. I'm excited about Ogerpon. I'm excited about the entire team. I'm excited for season number 8. Do me a favor, in the description will be a link to all the coaches' channels. Make sure to subscribe to all of them because trust me, you do not want to miss any games this season. It is going to be action-packed. If you haven't already, go into the Discord server of the BBR. I would love to converse with you guys. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this draft analysis video. I truly appreciate it. Do me a massive favor, check if subscribed, leave a like on the video. With that being said, I'm gonna get the heck up out of here. Have a great rest of your day, and above all else, be nice. Peace.